Future of fashion, when fashion announces the future events. This is the subject of this video. Welcome here. If you are here, you are certainly ahead of your time and an intuitive being. And you have certainly yet observed that fashion was indicative of an era, the 30s, the 50s, the 70s. And often we see it and it is recognized after the events. The idea here is to save time for our future, to adapt to the future faster and better, and quite simply to experience the change in the current era and to create more easily value. So thank you to all the new subscribers here on this channel. We contribute, even if it's a like or a comment, you really help me in the diffusion of my messages. And if you are here for the first time, if you discover me here, welcome, and please subscribe. We will have a lot of fun by the end of the year. My name is Galatée, and to say it directly, I know the future. Yes, it's a bit direct, of course. I really want to save time, and obviously I know the future in bold outlines. But just for one example, on the detail and on the dates, I could be wrong, but for example, it was exactly 1 year ago here on this channel, I have announced major peace agreement in the Arabic zone, and you can see now it is happening. So to come back to fashion now, really, this is my subject. In short, the fashion which has been strangely developing over the past few years and which will be widely used is a fashion that I will call all France. You know, I'm French, and it all starts with the pretty funny trend that I call the big nose. You know, look to successful male actors, female comedian, and then for years we have been in fashion also for 1 year for curb shame, as you can see, perhaps mine here, with big link and vintage jacket and oversized vintage jacket and pastel also with Provence code revisited. And here I am referring to the dazzling success of Jacquemus. We put your picture here. The tailors too are coming back, and now the little cardigan. So see how the very young girls take on grandma's dress code, and obviously they play the contrast with high waist jeans or nice sneakers. And my subject is what this tells us about the time. This return to the past is a way, of course, of reassuring ourselves in an anxiety provoking period. In my opinion, this basic analysis is far from the deep reality. In recent decades, fashion and social evolution has been manipulated in a certain sense by the mainstream media. And here I'm not showing you the frightening slippage of experimental haute couture fashion for men. I just want to mention 3 things. First, this construction of family values that you can observe like me everywhere. 2, the media highlighting of an exacerbated homosexuality. And 3, the promotion of no gender even in the schoolyards. And I can add 4, the empowerment of the individual in the control of his destiny. And also the robotization by an environment unfit for the flourishing of life by repeated and exaggerated excess of stress at all levels. So on this channel and in the videos that I am sharing, I want to stay very synthetic. We can talk hours about all that. So I want to avoid detailing or judging everything. I am anything you want, except of course homophobic. And any drift is positive insofar as it integrates in itself its own correction of and measure. And all this to tell you that this old France fashion made an announcement in France and around the world for a lot of beautiful things. So, for example, the return of family value. Watch how fast on all internet starlet rush for the 20 to highlight the beautiful couple and the newborn baby. We can observe too the return of social value. Look, for example, at the current war between lie and truth after the world gate of COVID. Small political lies tolerate before until then will be completely impossible, and politics in its old version will not be possible from 2021, for example. The return of moral value like benevolence, respect, tolerance, solidarity, generosity, and giving. Look, for example, at the magnitude of self-giving on YouTube. All those videos that time and that money invest just to share messages that we consider useful for the other. So we do that for you. And we can also anticipate the return of individual integrity, the affirmation of oneself in its uniqueness, I dare to say in its divinity, highlighting each personal talent, alienating personal life with professional life and spiritual life. And you see that beyond a revisited vintage old France fashion, there is a real fundamental shift. And I have been talking about this shift on this channel back and forth for a year now. And you want the highlight of the show because it's not going to stop, this old France fashion. It will go crescendo beyond, for example, Sofia Coppola, who with Marie Antoinette movies brought back into fashion a few years ago the macaron of La Durée and the frou-frou and the pyramid of Champagne. It is quite a fundamental movement that will emerge soon, and it's better to have the information in advance. You see, every summer yet already we have more lace and puffed sleeves, and well, you perhaps know yet YouTubers in the United States that dress like they did centuries ago by reproducing everyday gesture even for the underwear. And also, for example, old historical ball dress reconstructed identically with crowdfunding. For example, the famous peacock dress. Sorry, I'm French, my English is improving in each video. And you know, on this channel I talk since a year now of the return of Louis XX, not as a return of royalty, but as a return of a leadership. And you will see soon that we will have more truth about Notre Dame fire. We will change the use of many Parisian public buildings and with the historical restoration. The Élysée, for example, in Paris, after the departure of Mr. Macron, will no longer be used in the same way. The cancellation of sales illegally made by Mrs. Macron around historical furniture for French treasure will be also come out, and we will restore and preserve more church with new original funding system. And the highlight of the show in a few years, perhaps after 2024, we need to be patient. And for example, can be with crowdfunding, international crowdfunding, the reconstruction of Château de Marly and its 12 pavilions, and in the same vein, the reconstruction of Saint-Cloud. And of course, we will revisit the historical line about the French Revolution. And so if you work in arts, it's very important, or if you work in fashion, to have this information in advance, because the artistic environment will be modern, but with the return of old form of art, and by anticipating, it's a way to better adapt, and you can really transform your professional life, getting information in advance. And if this project fascinates you, do not hesitate to say it in the comment. We can exchange on you together, because fashion is really magic, and it affects all the stage of the mix match we are living at the international level now. And as I detailed in other video, Africa is finally free, will free itself from all the corruption, and will shine culturally. The culture of Africa will shine at an international level. And for example, the money will change in Africa. This is the end of franc CFA. And when you look to that and you imagine a contrast between France, old France look, for example, a granny old jacket of the last century over a skirt with strong African boubou print, wow, it can be wonderful. I can show you an example here. And this is really the 20s, a return to the basic with a real explosion of joy. And to prepare you there to this desirable future, I have prepared a lot of things in a private sharing, and I have also, for this period of the end of 2020, prepare a gift. And you can save a lot of time by accessing to this private sharing, because first I show you my best tip to be better in the present, with really simple tips like sleep well with a simple tool. And two, I show you to be a futurist by starting to use more your intuition. For example, we transform your hand into a GPS, and this is very helping to guide your daily shows. And the gift I add free, it's a bonus, and it's to clean deep into the body all the post-traumatic stress, all the stress related to the current period, and that can cause anxiety and nervous overactivity. So in short, everything is here in my private sharing. It's also in the description of this video. And as a futurist has above all the spirit of synthesis, and so each tool in this private sharing is explained in less than 5 minutes and immediately operational. So in this private sharing we say every day excuse or result, and we say results. Jingle. Thank you again. I hope you like and comment this video. You saw it, I respond to the comment as much as possible. Our community is on a human scale, so let's take advantage of it. And I am working on a new website. It will be soon in place. We are active too on Instagram. The link is here and in the description if you want to follow Future is FE&MALE on Instagram. And I am thinking to a live both in French and English, so do not hesitate to suggest me a way to organize it in the comment section. Thank you, bye bye, big hug, ciao.